I've tried to give Riot money so bad. I want to get this stupid Warwick thing 'cause it looks so dumb. I love it. But none of my cards work on Riot, and PayPal denies me. I don't know why. I don't know why they deny me my Riot points. Riot, if you're listening to this, please let me give you money. I want to waste my money. Use honey and PayPal will allow you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. So I watched all that honey stuff go down, right? Because, you know, I'm chilling, you know, I'm on vacation. And then, like, I saw it and I was like, well, I was like, that's strange. And then in the video, we were like the 10th, Trash Taste was like number 10 on the list of most honey views. And I was sitting there and I was like, I dead ass, I do not remember a single honey sponsorship reading on Trash Taste. But apparently we've done like 10. I totally forgot about that. When did you drop the honey sponsorship? I mean, I think they just didn't come back. Like the way that like podcasts work very differently from how YouTube works. Like podcasts, you typically just like, you would have slots and then a third party would sell them or an agent would sell them, right? So we kind of didn't have like a whole lot of input with what was going on, which is why we sometimes got sponsors that people were not happy with. And which, you know, we would later then get rid of because we would be like, hey guys, people don't like this. I'm sure you can figure out which one. I don't tell you. Why am I getting very white? So, yeah, we would just kind of just do whatever, like sponsorships, you know, you would just them. So, it's not like, if you listen to an ad read on a podcast, it's very different from YouTube, whereas I think YouTubers, they tend to... If they're not promoting like a show is different normally. Like if you watch like Philip DeFranco, I think he sells that as like a show. So he'll be like, he'll go around shopping to sponsors or someone will from his team be like, we have 3 slots. Who wants a slot? And they normally are like a little cheaper than doing a single YouTube video. So, and they're normally filled a lot quicker and there's normally less checking being done. Whereas on YouTube, if you're doing like one sponsorship, there's quite a lot of negotiation involved. They're commercial slots. Yeah, exactly. Like think about it when you're watching like TV and then they promote methylthymelium or whatever. It's kind of like that. It's a lot more like TV. It's how it's sold. So that's why podcasts, we had more sponsors. And we would have a lot. Sometimes we'd have a lot. Sometimes we'd have the same sponsor and over again. It's all really unusual, really. It was all kind of new to us. What happened to Boxy? Like every single sponsor you can think about on Trash Taste, normally the reason why they don't, then 95% of the time they're not around anymore, is because they just didn't want to have more slots, you know? Because we would sell like 3 slots on the show, right? Or that's 3 or 4, I don't know. And then, they would just, you know, they would just fill it. You would just fill it with whoever was willing. So there's not. Whereas like on YouTube, when I do YouTube, it's like, oh, X and X wants to sponsor your video, and then there's a whole discussion around it. Why are there no sponsors on Trash Taste recently? Are we just changing things up differently, like internally, how we're doing it? So we can get a bit more control on it. But yeah, so there will be less ads for now, and I think for probably a while. So it's good. Do they pick the video? No, they don't pick the video. It's literally like commercials, like, they will just be like, we like Trash Taste, we want to promote on Trash Taste, we want to be on 3 episodes around these dates, and then they get put on them, right? It's pretty, like, it's pretty straightforward. But you normally need, like, a lot of help to sell those slots. But I like sponsors. We used to do the sponsors, like, we used to try and make them a lot more funny, but then you just do so many, and you're like, this is just like, like, I can't do this, let's just get through it, let's just on through it. And I feel like even on the viewers as well, it's like, you know, you just skip it. It's whatever. Hentai episode ads should be more expensive. Look, I agree. Look, as a YouTuber, like, I know which videos will do well and which ones generally will do bad. But like, sponsors don't normally get to choose what it goes on, right? So I'll know, like, sometimes a sponsor will come and you will know which video will do better. But sometimes there's timing, and if a sponsor wants to go on a certain day, they just have to, you know, you don't really get to choose. Do sponsors ever contact you back mad if they see it's on a hentai app show? Oh, for sure. Yeah, like, ads, sponsors could definitely be unhappy. I don't think we've had that, but, like, they are well within their right to. like, if we put an ad on a hentai episode, which I think we've done, they absolutely could be like, we don't want this. And you know, what are we gonna say? Like, what do you mean you don't want to be on, like, fucking, on the part where you discuss the hentai where someone poops on someone? Like, that's fair. The sponsor reads recorded when y'all are traveling at Unhinged is funny as fuck. Well, I think it's like, when you're like 250 episodes in, you're like, I don't give a f. I don't give a f about getting these sponsor reads. I'll just do it. I'm pretty sure, because they're like very strict deadlines, so we just have to record them. I'm pretty sure, like, there have been some absolutely, one time, it was when I was at TwitchCon, I had to record like 5 ad reads. I had like 3 random boxes, the garbage can and the toilet can, like the toilet bin from the hotel room, all stacked up precariously, and then my phone pointing at me. And then I had to have a laptop here, and I was like reading it. It was so scuffed. I had to do like 5 ads. They must know, a fair amount of people know, given this ads, for sure. So like how the ads decide if like they want to keep sponsoring you is that if you watch Trash Taste and let's say we're sponsored by someone and nobody clicks the link at all, or nobody like uses it, then they just wouldn't come back, right? Which, you know, it's like if we want them to come back, we need to sell it better, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just do the thing. I think it's fair on both sides. And some brands don't want, like, sales. Like, some brands want, like, some companies want, like, sales directly. Like, they'll want, we need X amount of sales just to be worth it. Whereas other companies, like, we just want to get the word out there. Do you guys see the feedback on certain sponsors? So, yeah, I'm not going to say it just because I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but, like, sometimes you sign a deal, or a deal is signed on behalf, and it can last longer than you might want it to. I'm sure we've all signed up for a subscription service or two that maybe lasted a bit longer than we wanted it to. And it's also like, sometimes you get a sponsor and then the viewers just don't like it, and then you're like, all right, we just want to re-sign it, right? Like, at the end of the day, if people complain, we see it, even if we don't respond to it, right? I don't respond to stuff generally like that, just because I feel like it doesn't really help. It's like, okay, I've seen it. We'll figure it out. I feel like if you are always trying to, like, respond to every single grievance that a community member has, it just takes it forever. And I feel like it makes a bad loop, where people know if they complain that they get a response. But like, we do make the changes. These sponsors only care about your viewerships. It's like everything. They care about everything, right? YouTube back in the day used to be so bad because, like, they only cared about sub count back in the day. And so you'd have these channels that had like 2 million subs, but only pulling like 1,000 views, and they'd be like, getting like 20 grand. And you're like, what? And then they'd be like, man, these, and then they would turn around and like complain. They'd be like, man, these YouTubers are worthless. Why do we pay them? And then you're like, what? I mean, what? That's crazy. Back in the day, it's like 5 years ago, but 5 years ago is like a long time in YouTube terms. Stuff's changed.